All right, hello everybody, and welcome to part four of I don't know. We'll stop trying to do all that, or at least take a break. But basically, um, already I can tell we're gonna need to add some more lighting. Like I'm thinking netherrack with fire, like periodically to just kind of light the way, floating around it. Oh yeah, let's do that. So, but for that, I need to actually go to my stash of. Um, Actually, let's go ahead with the creation of that. Well, no, I say that, but I am going to keep this llama. All right, sorry. We've got a couple of projects that we could do. And I was already thinking of how to. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix that, but whatever for now. That's fine. And I am going to make a shrine for this llama who was the brave llama that. Yes. I got to be careful not to send him flying. But I need to work on that another time. But I also was thinking about how to add a new section of roller coaster to that one that we just built today. And that was cool. We all did that in about a half hour to an hour, like 1 to 2 episodes. So, but basically, just like I did to that llama here on this track, where it just like whoop, like juts off some other way, I would do that in the middle of one of the sides. So that would give me the most amount of time, I think, before. Oh wait, we're going for netherrack. That would give me the most amount of time before the llama came again, because it is going to take a little time to switch the track. Like it's not. I mean, you can build all the structure you want to like cradle it as much as you can. Oh yes, yes. Let's do 2 stacks, easy. Let's drop off the puffer fish. I actually just already started making. Oops, I need. Oh, there. I believe it is. Yes. Just forgot to put the pufferfish there. So, I like getting all of these because I'm gonna have like a pufferfish aquarium, tropical fish aquarium, maybe mix them, whatever. I don't know. Oh, I also need flint and steel. That's okay. We're basically just gonna try to, I don't know, add some light to the llama lounge, and we're gonna. I didn't feel like. Well, a couple of things. I felt like the whole 4 episodes a day seems like a pretty good comfortable rate to pump these out. Not too much, not too little. Um, Actually, let's do a couple. I mean, because I run out of these things. Like, we're going to be doing a lot of fuego, a lot of fire. So, all right, let's put the flint back. Now, and actually, sorry, just, all right. So now I have netherrack. I need some dirt. There we go. Get a couple stacks of dirt. So what I'm going to try to do is just kind of approach it different ways and have netherrack there. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna summarize what we've been doing this season and really this whole thing. Like we have so many projects of trying to untangle the web that is our society currently, and I'm talking about the United States, but really the world in general. Because and this is gonna just fall. Okay. It jumped. Interesting. All right, that's fine. We can leave those there for now. But anyways, like making all the unalienable rights nonprofit industries is really the first step. Education being nonprofit over across the board is the first thing we need to do. Now that is going to hurt step on a lot of toes. Like I remember specifically seeing in the paper that a football coach was getting paid $2 million to coach the CSU Rams, and it's like, I mean, that's fine. That's great for them. Who? Oh wait, we got to see. So I don't want to distract it, but I think it'll just. Actually, I don't know. I honestly don't know. So, like, should I? No, we're not gonna. We gotta make it at least a block away. Whew. Oh, oops. Because you don't want to light the llama on fire. That would be terrible. All right, and actually, by that right, we can just do a lot of this like this. We don't even have to be back up there. Oops. Anyways, yeah. So that's just like the first step to make to kind of bring the wealth inequality back down, because really that is like how you gain wealth is you gain an education. Now you can do it with backbreaking work and time and patience, and yes, you can do it. I'm not saying you can't. And a lot of times that's really like both ways, both with higher education and without, are still attributing to a state of a lot of broken homes. I mean, a lot of single parents, a lot of, I mean, myself included. I wouldn't say broken, but I would say definitely, oh, wait, see, now that's right in the corner. Hmm. So I might do that. But anyways, like trying to deal with already a finite amount of resources, like you do in Minecraft and stuff, or in video games in general, and then you're trying to stretch it even further. Like, okay, so how do we bring this, at least the feeling of wealth, to more families? And you do stuff like that, like, ha, nice. All right. Because a lot of it is just like the perception of wealth inequality as well. I mean, there is some definitely like glaring situations like homelessness. I mean, homeless people, people experiencing homelessness, like this is a danger area that we need to address as a society. And we are. Colorado's definitely doing our part to try to experiment and see what kind of programs actually benefit. Oh yeah, see that you could actually get burned like going in there, and we could do some more lava, some lava stuff. Let's see what happens when I stand in the way. Okay, nothing. It goes. That's what I was thinking. It would go right through. It's like it might hurt, but it might bounce off, and I was more worried about it bouncing off. Oh, and my phone lit up like, hey, you didn't actually set an alarm this time. No, it was some other alerts. Let's see, what time is it now? It's like right at 5. We need 23 minutes. Oh yeah, so 5:23. Okay. Bada bang. We'll do 5:22. Then I'll start wrapping up a little bit early. So anyway, so I don't have to worry about disrupting the llama, and I can, continue to build these things. The problem is I don't have enough emerald blocks. So I'm going to have to, which is fine. I mean, whoops. Also, yeah, that's all fine for in here. Actually, yeah, I'll just do it everywhere there's a thing, at least on the inside. There'll be an inner fire. And then I want to say, like, put fire on the outside as well. So, and then same thing, like, oops, yeah, we'll just do that. Because I don't think the fire spreads. Oh, actually, you know what? Nope, 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 nope. Oh, actually, even better. Let's have nothing. Because that's what I was thinking of, is just having these, like, floating, you know, just floating things, like, of fire. So, anyways, sorry. Wealth inequality, whether real or perceived, and it doesn't matter because, and that's the thing is like you need to scale your approach problem solving in scalable ways, and just realize that it really doesn't matter if there is a wealth inequality or not. We need to at least address why people think there is or isn't, and some of it is glaringly obvious. Like you just look at like, oh, what did I just light on fire? This is so dangerous. I don't want to kill the llama or myself. I mean, I'm less worried about myself. Like if I get burned, then okay, whatever. Like it's on peaceful. It's not life threatening. But the llama could definitely go up in flames, and I don't want that. So not just because I'm trying to be humane with the animals, at least to some degree. Oh, see, look, and even like there, like even just having like floating, flaming. Yeah, I'm gonna do that with all of them. Just like take away the supports that I had. And that regains the blocks too. Like that is just definitely better used on more roller coaster. It is nice, it is flashy, but yeah. So, anyways, and then the other facets of problem solving that I've been trying to do with these projects is also like preventative blue team or preventative maintenance on preventing crime, preventing undesired behavior. Like you could really use a wide range, like everything. I mean, if you're trying to problem solve with like family stuff, family matters, especially out of family court. I'm sorry, like You hear court and you think that that's supposed to be like a really helpful thing, and it's not. Like it's really only helpful if it's in an extreme situation because it costs money. It costs time, effort, headache, heartache, like all these things. And I say that from experience. And I will say that it helped, but at the degree, and we need to change that because it should be able to be where it just helps. Like there isn't, well, there really shouldn't be a price tag, and that's what else. That's the other reason that I say that the unalienable rights should be nonprofit. So life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Well, liberty is your freedom, and that is law, legal stuff. So even just to no lawyer should, every lawyer should be pro bono. Like, that should just not be a thing. Like, because if you think about the doctors and the lawyers, the highest paid things, like, if they didn't have to do ridiculous amounts of education, they wouldn't have to be so high paid. And yes, that isn't great for doctors that want to eventually finally make it, pay off all of their medical debt, and then they've got those ridiculously high salaries that were designed for, okay, well, we had to compensate them for their pay and time, but once that's compensated, then we should adjust it to a normal salary. And I know that's not happy for everyone, but bear with me. I'm saying that across the board, like everybody should be paid less because everything should cost less. Everything should just be free that is possible. And I'm talking food, shelter, like everything that, I mean, at least the basics. If you want to get flashy and like upgrade, then cool. We should have options to do that. But I'm thinking of like, mass building tiny homes with like a protective shell, kind of like the Monarch Ski Resort $1 million tent. We used to joke about that, calling it the $1 million tent, but it was a tent that protected you from the elements. Very sub-zero temperatures, very frigid temperatures. There we go. Now we've got blocks, flaming blocks in the middle. This is going to look really cool at night, and I think I got everywhere. So now everywhere that there's a redstone torch, there's also. Oh wait, no, I take that back. Right here. So we got to keep going. Ooh, this one. Okay. Um, Whew. All right, so let's do these ones because I feel like that's getting a little too close. And again, I don't want to set llamas on fire. But anyway, so if you make education more affordable and really standardized too, like it should just be standardized at this point up until, or you should at least have 2 to 4 years of community college paid for by the government, by the state, or whatever, just provided for free as public school. Oh no. Because really, I mean, and you could actually like, or at least like zero interest loans. See, that's the other thing. We don't have to go to extremes. Sorry, that's what I keep forgetting this part. And I did take some business classes like microeconomics, macroeconomics, accounting, marketing, management, finance. I think and international business. Like that was my capstone class. But even though I really didn't do a whole lot with it, it was just, I mean, now I do work with a company that works international, but like it wasn't the whole, I don't know. Actually, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But here we go. We now have, yeah. But see, they all look a little uniform, and that might look cool in its own way. But we need to do here as well. Here as well. So yeah, but if you make education at least cheaper, and you can do that in a number of ways. You can make it government funded. I mean, everything, and I don't know, that would mean increased taxes, stuff like that, because the money just doesn't come from nowhere. Or if we eliminated a major debt like military spending, then all of this would be, in fact, if you eliminated military spending, we could have food and housing for pretty much everyone in the world. The U.S. could probably pay for it. Because how many houses could 800 billion build every year? 800 billion. Yep. Anyway, it is ridiculous. And like, and I don't get me wrong, I'm a proud American. I'm very happy for my country. My country has done a lot of great things. It's done a lot of horrible things. I'm not going to kid myself. Just like Germany, great country, did some horrible things. Like, it's, yeah, it's just a thing. It's just history. And then we can move on and we can build up, I don't know, the whole build back better, stop the steal, all these like political slogans and like little phrases. It's annoying, but oh, yeah, that even looks pretty cool from a distance. Just like now it's lit. And then, but I'm going to keep this structure up so I can launch like a few more. It's like introducing fish like the salmon cannons, like when you're trying to get them up into like populate certain ponds, rather than just driving them up there. You can have a, I don't even know how that works. Like, or anyways, sorry, it's way off. Although that it does remind me of one of the other projects that I'm doing with this world, not related to my studies and my career or anything, because I am a cybersecurity professional studying how to prevent cybercrime. And by that, just problem solving to prevent all crime. And yeah, so, and these are just, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm not no Spider-Man or Superman or whatever. Yeah, sorry, trademark, copyright, all that. But this, I'm going to make a whitewater river rafting thing. I'm going to flood this with water. And just like we did that thing, we did that in what, a day? Let's see. We got 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and try to start because, yeah, I want to see it. I want to at least start seeing the concept of it. So we built a llama roller coaster today, the version one, the first version. And now we're also going to start building our own river rafting going into this little village, this trading village. Ooh, and it is getting nighttime. So let's see, where would I get a bunch of buckets of water? I believe right here. And I really only need two. Yep, and, hmm. Okay. We're gonna build a spicy watering hole. We gotta be careful where we put this because this is dangerous. Alright, so pufferfish are toxic, poisonous, venomous. I don't even know what the proper term is, but we need to go over here. There we go, and one, two, whoops, two, three. At least, actually, yeah. And then, okay. There we go. And I was trying to get those dirt. Anyways, whatever. In fact, well, whatever. Now we have, and so that's the dirty one because that's got the poisonous pufferfish in it. But this one can be a clean one. Anyways, sorry. I've also talked about a cabling management project for India, but again, I don't want to insult India or anything like that. Like they're a very fine country and they're doing great, and and they are too. I was just there and they're building a bunch of like magnificent structures. Like they're doing good. Like it's really just like a waiting game at this point. We need to have faith in these places that they will get their stuff going in a way that's good. And oh, let's see. Oh, huh. All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to keep. And that's why you want the infinite water source. And then, let's see. So, okay. Actually, I kind of want it down a little, more like this. There we go. Because then it'd be the actual river. So let's take those down, actually. Let's just do that. Because then the other thing. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't need to be nearly that high. And if you do it right, like let's see. So there's a block there. Here, like right here. There we go. Now we have an infinite water block. Now we can just keep pumping them out. And then, you can even take some of the stone away. Or just leave some too. Like there's rocks in the middle of river rafting and stuff. And then, now we have an infinite water block here. We can just make sure that every one of these is filled. So, or not, because like I said, eventually we want to make this to where this river flows down. I don't know. It's going to take a lot, but actually, wait, no. Like I was just talking about. Let's not make that. So, anyways, and yeah, like India is just one example of it. And you got these people like Mr. Beast Philanthropy doing philanthropy projects around the world, digging wells. Like that's the main thing we need to focus on is like where in the world do we need better access to water, better access to shelter, better access to safety. So that's the other thing is like all these unstable regions that yes, America, we're not without blame in destabilizing a lot of areas, and I get that. Not me personally, but our policies, our business, our whatever the case may be, it just is. So, I mean, instead of pointing fingers, like we now need to move forward together and figure this out. And that does sound like someone trying to just like, absolve themselves of all blame from some wrongdoing. And they're like, well, yeah, because I mean, it just sounds ridiculous. Like, if your great great grandfather did a bunch of weird stuff with horses, and then someone comes up to you and says, hey, you're the guy that does all that weird stuff with horses, you're like, wait, what? No. And then, but, oh, wait, your great great grandfather. See, that doesn't even make sense. Like, so, anyways, that's part of why it's like, and I get that. That's actually like that critical race theory and stuff is, I mean, that's what I don't really understand. But at the same time, it depends on if you were paying attention in school because we do learn about all that stuff in school. But then some people seem to forget about it, and that's why people get all concerned. Oh, whoops. See, that is the downside of that is like, so now they're like that. Okay, at least we have the idea started. So then I can, you know, I'll forget, and then I'll be off building something like a llama roller coaster, and then I'll just all of a sudden see all this water. I mean, let's keep doing it. I want some more infinite water sources, so let's kind of try to build some of those. Yeah, like right there. Yeah, there we go. Nope. Okay, well, that's fine. WTF? Well, that's fine. Oh, one of my favorite professors used to say that. And yeah, once we get things figured out, it's going to take some adjustment time. Like, you're not going to be able to build all this stuff overnight. There's still going to be wealth inequality, but at least people won't be going from paycheck to paycheck. Like, if we just made some common sense business changes, like, loan money at like no to low interest. Now that we can automate a lot of things, like, even if we just did like some open source charity thing, like for banks, well, first off, we should make banking nonprofit. That should be a given. Like, okay, so money markets, I get it. Like, that is, and I'll catch a lot of blowback from that, but it's like, at the same time, it's money. Like, you're not really doing a whole lot, like, handling it and, like, moving it around now because, like, we have technology and digital stuff and it makes it really easy to do all this stuff and manage and audit and all these things. I mean, you gotta, like, still give people training. But I mean, if you didn't have to pay all of these salaries that you used to, then really we can kind of cut the fat in the banking industry. So, and then right there you get home loans at lower interest and lower prices. Stabilize the housing market. Then you start like, everything that can help out the common person is going to help out the entire country as a whole. We all rise or sink together, and like, and that goes for the world too. And that's why like eventually we're getting to the point where okay, good, now we've got it to this. We've problem solved for the American level, because that's where the rippling rings. And I did a Jamboard for that too. Oh wait, did I put the? Okay, 23. I think there's an alarm. Anyways, um, but a Jamboard showing my concentric circles of concern and control and authority. Like, oh, it's actually not even control and authority. I have authority and control over myself, my actions, and then a little bit for my dependents, my kids, but they're not really my dependents. Like, my co-parent claims them. So technically, like in a tax standpoint, I am just in control of myself. However, as a dad, I am in control of my kids. Like, however much a legal responsibility I have the ethical, moral, and communal and societal obligation and authority over my children. So, and again, these are things that like they're kind of common sense for a lot of situations, but they really get drilled home if you go to higher education. So sociology, anthropology, psychology, all of these things that I took just for fun, basically. Like my degree was electrical engineering to start, and then I changed. Oh, I left college. Um, some really poor grades and poor decisions, and then came back to college, switched majors, and did really well. Like raised my GPA up quite a bit, Oh, nice. There's an infinite water source. So now I can just keep doing like that. Oh, almost. So, and then yeah. So, and that's why it's important to understand like my past, my history, my background, and all that, because anybody trying to get into these tech fields, and like that's the main reason I did a lot of this stuff. Well, really was to get myself back into the tech field because I was building wind turbine blades and having a great time doing it. However, it was just too physical. Like I needed to, I was a dad, so still am, but I mean, like that was the concern was like, this job is gonna age me too quickly, where I'm not gonna be any good to these kids, So, anyways, so I wanted to get back to sitting at a desk, and I remember one of my buddies over at Vestas, he was joking about that because I was all excited to be working with my hands again and not having to think so much. And he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to get to a desk job." And I was like, "Oh, I'm trying to escape a desk job." Because it is. It's very stressful until you have enough experience to really pick where you want to work at. You just really got to work at wherever. And plus, you don't know. I mean, like, I didn't really understand what about the tech world really meant. So, anyways, and you're going to need the experience either way. Like my tutorials will help you get an entry level job or an internship position in software development or IT. Like that's it. I mean, anything past that or cybersecurity, I suppose. But it really, you got to understand that CSU did put out that boot camp. So now, like they've got a ton of people doing these classes. 10 grand, or less, depending on if you already have a CSU degree. They've got scholarships for that or grants or whatever. Uh, and yeah, so plus, it's 6 months of a time dedication, part time. I think it was 2.5 hour classes a week and then a Saturday class. So, I mean, it's definitely a commitment, but it's so worth it. And plus, it was great for me, like already having a tech degree in applied computing technology, not even computer science, mind you. Like, that's why I was going back to school because I was like, oh, maybe if I got the actual computer science degree. Plus, it was also kind of a status thing, which is stupid. And we'll talk about that too. Status and like how, yes, it's important for certain people's psychology and their needs, their wants, their id, their desires. And that is something we're going to have to address if we're going to try to problem solve. For first, you got to handle yourself, your desires, your id, your ego. And it is, and this is Maslow's, by the way, Maslow's or whatever, Maslow's. So and then once you're good with yourself, then you can help those around you. So it's basically what that is. See, now you can just keep once you get a foothold in it. So now we have a river developing. Ah, this is so cool. And then let's keep going, and then I don't know. But anyways, yeah, and that is like how, and those concentric circles. Like I'm going to problem solve with myself, then my family, then my community, then my town, then my state, and then my country, and then my, well, really, let's see. Ha, there you go. Now I'm poisoned. Um, anyways, and then my hemisphere, my half of the world, and then the world. So, and I am trying to solve world problems too. That's why even if we started a communication network to link charities and organizations together to allocate funds and direct those funds to where they need to go and cut out as many middle people as possible to where it is as purely charity as we can get. And yeah, but you got to remember, logistics and operations does cost money, and until we, oh, yep, there's my alarm. Until we solve a lot of these problems, people are still going to be living in poverty, or at least in perceived poverty, where they're still getting what they need, but not really what they want. And really, in this day and age, we have no excuse to not be thriving. It's that thrival versus survival. Like, are you just wanting to survive, or do you want to thrive? Like, and really, we should be wanting this for everybody, not just like the whole financial gain. Like, ooh, what can I make off of this, or what's my gain? Because we're gonna take care of all those needs. We're gonna get all the needs met that we can. And that sounds kind of gross, like, because yeah, that does. I mean, baby making and practicing baby making is a carnal need that we need to address as well, and that's the whole sex crime reduction project. So, which we're out of time. So, cliffhanger. You're gonna want to listen to that one. Sex bots and anyways, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye bye.